Okay. So a number of you were with me last week. Quick recap. Last week, I had a daughter mad at me, wasn't talking to me, and was sharing all the terrible ways that I've been a mother. And then a few days later, another daughter decided she wasn't speaking to us. And then a couple days later, a client needed to tell me that how wrong I addressed something. And then a colleague came and said how terrible and wrong. You see the theme? So what Abraham Hicks would call this is it was a week with a lot of contrast. Yeah, lots of contrast. And it was beautiful because we can say, oh, I'm on the path of awakening. I'm on the path of enlightenment. I'm on the path of being fully merged with the divine. I am releasing my ego. I am not my personality. Like we can say that. I'm not attached. But when I'm in the house of mirrors, and that's what I call it, the house of mirrors, and my karma or my failures or my person just keeps getting mirrored back to me is usually when I grow the most and I surrender the ego the most. So it's in these tough times that I so badly want to go into victimization, because we all do. The world is crumbling down. I can't do anything right. Well, if they just knew why. Yeah. So with the first issue, I could fight and be like, well, I said this. And then the second issue piled on and I was like, but we're just trying to do the best we can. And then the third issue came on and I started to just surrender. I just started to let go of needing to make anything good again, to make anything right, or to just try to be good. That's all I was doing. I was trying to be good. I was trying to do the good thing. Now, we all know, those of you who've done inner alignment, that there's a tiny mad idea that I'm not good in order to need to be good in all of these places. And we all have one of these. We all have something we're fighting for in the outside world to feel okay. Unless you're enlightened, you probably got one or two of these. And so what that week did was it just started to disassemble the resistance to try to be good. So many of you were with me last week, and my hope was that you tapped into that emotion and that hardness and the rajas so that we could move into sattva. And what I had the privilege was to be reminded about, like, as I surrendered, I'm like, what's the point of any of this? I got to the, what's the point? Not in a dark and ugly way, but like, what am I fighting for? What's the point? What's the end? And I was reminded that enlightenment is the end. It's not even healing the world of trauma or being a good mom, which was what I was going for. It's really about my full awakening, and that's what was being mirrored to me, where I'm not fully awakened, where I'm not fully connected to the I am that I am. Because I think that's the whole point for me on this path. And I forget that. I forget that really, if I'm going to be goal-oriented spiritually, I'm going to be going for enlightenment. Not that I even know what enlightenment is, other than a surrender into the love that I am. It's the only definition of enlightenment. So once I hit that point of surrender and just being washed with the failure and the grief that's when I could focus on what really matters, which is the path of enlightenment, which is such a intangible thing. You know, the Buddha says you can follow your breath all the way to enlightenment. Paramahansa Yogananda says that the ego is just the soul's confusion with the personality, with the mind. So the work is to get into an embodied state where the mind is not velcroed to who we are. It's just peeling away the mental, the manomaya kosha, the layer of the body that's the mental and emotional, so that we can be with the spirit, with our spirit. And so, yeah, of course, divine has to slosh waves in every direction to tip my ship in order for me to really surrender into what's important, which is the part of me that is divine. So that's where I'm at this week, is in that surrendered space of just wanting to merge into the sacred, the I am that I am. So there's a practice through the Kriya Yoga, not the Kundalini Yoga, but the Kriya Yoga lineage of Paramahansa Yogananda that can be shared publicly. And having been initiated into Paramahansa Yogananda's lineage, I feel it's such a sacred guru lineage. And so that is the practice of Hung Sa. Now, you may have heard of the mantra So Hum. Now, the Kriya Yoga perspective of So Hum, and I'm going to get this wrong, but just take the essence of it. So Hum is I am divine, or I am that. Whereas Hung Sa is that I am, divine I am. So it's similar. So Hum and Hung Sa are similar. But Hung Sa is said to allow us to merge straight into the divine. So we're going to use the Hung Sa, which is a simple practice that gurus might prescribe or assign as a mantra to take someone straight to enlightenment. And for me in my spiritual development, simple is better. Just give me a simple thing. Don't give me a 12-step process. Just tell me the most direct and simplest way to merge with the I am that I am. And I believe that the Hung Sa is a really effective way to do that. So I've typed it into the chat. Those of you who weren't on, who might not see it, it is the So Hum, but in a more effective, more precise mantra. Hung Sa. Now, the reason why it's changed, some say hung, some say hum, is because of the Sanskrit, the dialects in India, and the different accents on hum, hung, hung, hum, hung, hum. You see? Talk, 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 right? Different dialects on the same thing. So I don't want you to get tripped up on Hong Sa. Hum So, Hung Sa. So that's what we're going to pronounce from the Bengali, I believe, dialect. So the goal here is to link the mantra into the breath and pulling the breath up the spine. Hung is the in-breath up the spine. Sa is the breath down. And you want to see it in a loop. Hung, sa, hung, sa. Now my breath pattern might be different than yours, so I'm going to be saying it, but you don't have to stay with me. You want to follow your breath. Hung, sa. And you might start it with a whisper and then move it to an internal mantra At some point, you're going to lose your breath. You'll forget to breathe. Know that that's normal, because what you're doing is merging into the I am. So your body will just breathe again and you'll come back to the mantra. But to dissolve, this mantra dissolves you into the spine and the breath of the spine. Okay? So spend a moment to get yourself comfortable in your body, so that you can sit, so that your body is not going to talk to you in 5 or 10 minutes to tell you to move your ankle. And as you inhale, feel your inhale come into your body. Just feel your belly and your back expand. Feel your breath. Feeling your breath in your body. We're just going to start with a small chant. The idea is you chant to your guru. If you have a guru, you can chant to your guru. Otherwise, we're just going to say Om Namah Shivaya. 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 Connecting you to the divine. Om Namah Shivaya. 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 Last one. Om Namah Shivaya. Now starting at the base of the spine, breathing up your spine, hung. Retain at the third eye for a moment. Sau, exhale. Inhale, hung up the spine, breathing up the spine. Sau. Inhaling, hung. Sau. Inhale, hung. Exhale, sau. Hung. 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 Sau. Up the spine, hung. Sau. hum, sa, hum, sa, hum, on your own hum sa. I am the divine is me. I am you, you are me. I am that I am. Just feel that frequency of oneness in this space, one with the divine. One with the divine in each of us. Feeling that in your cells, in your field, feeling that peace or bliss, feeling those 10 minutes of having released the mental and emotional layers of the self. So. And as you begin to come back from about 8 to 10 minutes of hung sa, just bring your awareness without opinion, without the mind's interpretation of the experience. Just feel presence. Knowing that this is more of the truth of who we are than the teenager that's mad at us or the client that's irritated or the joys or the sorrows, the deaths, the despair. This is the space we can come back to disidentify with that we confused ourselves with. Namaste.